listening to the Liquid Shape Podcast with your host, Cody Perez.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's Liquid Shape Podcast with your host, Cody Perez. And what's going on, everyone? So today's special guest is going to be an actress, a model, a painter. Her name is Stephanie Tice, and that will be in segment number 2. So as you all know, segment 1 is typically us just bantering and talking about what's going on. And the question of the week, we will discuss, feedback from folks that I asked this on various social media platforms. Just deep dive into that. We'll get started with today's day. Today's Saturday morning. We were supposed to record this last night again.
Fridays nights are hard, though, after working and whatnot. But last night, I was ready last night, but you were...
lasagna will put you out.
Snoozing-a-roo.
I was asleep. Dude, what time was it? Like 7:30?
Yeah, you were like mouth breathing too. Like,
oh my God. I was out. I was so tired, but I'm also waking up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning and getting shit done. So that's a lot of the reason. And then I'm like Garfield. He's my spirit animal. I love Italian food, and eating lasagna last night just put me the fuck out.
That lasagna, though, was so good.
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever done pesto chicken lasagna.
Ooh.
Normally, I'm a red sauce guy all day, every day. But lately, I've been liking the pesto a lot. I think pesto's good.
Pesto's my favorite.
Great flavor. I know you're not big on red sauce.
I mean, I like it, but I'm more of like...
I bet you are.
I feel like, to me, it has more flavor. Anyway, maybe that's no, I'm a bad Italian then.
You are a horrible Italian.
I know. Good thing it's only 14%.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's been a crazy busy week, of course, for any that follow my social media platforms. Obviously, there was some controversy last week with some of my opinionated matters of some bad person in the industry that I mentioned. I'm not going to bring it really up again, but there was a lot of attention on that. That got a lot of heated conversations and what have you. So with that, it kept American Overdose and myself very busy. We've been pushing the song Time Bomb a lot. Very thankful that so many social media platforms have picked that song up, and so many people are giving such great feedback about it. Time Bomb, and Mariah gets full credit for that funny little thing. It does sound like something Blink-182 would sing.
Oh, well, it was just my ADD, but...
Whatever, you were pretty upset that I shared
was like,
it.
Wait a minute.
It was funny though.
It was funny.
If you saw the video, you know what we're talking about. If you didn't, maybe go look for it on my social media. Snooperoo. But yeah, I'm just very thankful for all the people that have been behind us and helping us. Actually, beside us, I can't say behind us because it's been a team of people that have been making this happen from the very beginning to current state. And the band is only getting better and bigger with every fucking day, man. I'm so excited about that. Like, just when I thought that, like, I sometimes would think like, oh, maybe we were bigger back then, or maybe it's only gotten bigger and better, and it's just continuing to evolve. And I'm so proud of everyone that's working with us. There's not one person that's more important than the other. I always tell people that, and I tell my band that. I always say it takes a group of people to make it happen. I can take the credit and say, yeah, I have to drive it and keep it moving forward and pushing for it. But without the people that I have beside me, my team, I would just be spinning my wheels in the mud almost, because there's so many things that it takes to make it happen. So very thankful for that, and very thankful for all the people that share our stuff and that continue to support us and go to the shows and buy the merch. Like, we sold some CDs, man. That's crazy. CDs always sell. They usually sell at shows or when we're first putting out the albums and whatnot. The fact that we're still selling CDs in 2026, that says a lot. And someone actually bought all 3 albums and asked us to sign them. And of course, the guys can't take anything serious, so they were signing like drawing dicks on the artwork and whatnot. So the person that bought the CD is they're gonna get personal dick drawing drawings on their CDs, and
a dick surprise.
Dick surprise. Yeah. So very thankful for everyone that's supporting the band, American Overdose. Everyone's supporting this podcast, man.
Yeah.
There's been so many people. I got to give a shout out to Eric Sheets. He was a guest on episode 3. He was our first person to subscribe in monetary method. So thank you very much. This podcast is free, but if you want to contribute, because it does cost money to keep this running for us to be on the platforms to share it, for us to be able to do the editing software and all that, there's a monthly fee that's associated with that. So thank you very much, Eric. You're a badass. And I'm hoping that someday I get to meet this guy, because him and I have a lot in common, and we're both huge Mudvayne fans and awesome supporter for some time now. So really cool guy. You're dropping dogs over here. We got the boys with us right here. So if you hear dog breathing, it's the boys.
Sorry.
And also we're very in close quarters here because of the setup that we have for the recording.
It's not the best.
Unfortunately.
We're new.
So yeah, new. And the goal is this weekend we are going to be shopping for a new mic stand to hold the damn mic. And what's going on with your car? We're finally
oh yeah, we're gonna take that bitch to CarMax. Bye.
You had that car since when?
2018. I bought it brand new. It's a 2018 Ford Fusion.
Give a little history about that car.
Fuck Ford. Sorry if you're a loving Ford person. Never will I ever own a fucking Ford. The transmission went out in this motherfucker 6 months after I paid it off. 2 years. Well, so I paid it off, November of 24. It wasn't even 6 months, because then in March of last year, 25, the transmission goes out. And I only had 99. I didn't even have 100,000 miles on the fucking thing yet. So luckily, a friend of ours.
To Rommel.
To Rommel and band, yeah. He got her up and running. So take that bitch to CarMax later. Make it their problem. No. Well, got it running great. So it sounds like it's in great running condition. He's been driving it the last couple of weeks. So it sounds like it's going good. So super appreciative of that, because I was just going to scrap it. But I mean, it's a good looking car. One thing my dad always did with me, he ingrained in always do your oil changes, do the maintenance, all that stuff. So I did that oil change every time it was due, all that stuff, and then that. So I don't know. I'm not a Ford person.
I'm not either. I'm not a fan.
But also that was that's not the car I wanted at the time. It was just situational. So that was when I was leaving my ex-husband and stuff like that. So it's, we had vehicles together, so I just, whatever. So I was like, I need to not be tied to him. So that's just what kind of fell in my lap at the moment. I wasn't in the best right mind to really make good decisions. So it was just like, it's there, cool, let's go.
And it was a boat, too. It was
It's a fucking boat.
It's long. It's like a limo.
It's long as fuck.
A limo without the limo benefits.
Anyway, it's hopefully going to be good for somebody else and bring somebody else joy, so.
Get the bills paid and all that. Get them to work. Point A to point B.
But yeah. So
it is what it is. I'm glad that we're doing that. So we're going to be heading down to Salem to get that handled today.
Closing a chapter.
Closing a chapter, man. That's freaking been a pain in your ass.
It has.
With that said, we're going to go ahead and go into the question of the week, which if you listen to last week's episode with Josh Holland, episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. We kind of started this conversation that was sparked by someone that was involved in the project of Time Bomb video. And we were talking about how your close friends and family members are usually the last, if they do support you, when you're sharing things that mean a lot to you and you put a lot of work into. So that sparked the question of the week last week. And let me just read what I had posted that people were responding to. So the question of the week, I'll read it out loud for you. It was, this week's topic is one we touched on briefly in the most recent podcast episode, and I want to open it up for a deeper conversation. Why do you think it's so difficult for friends and family to do something as simple as liking, sharing, or commenting on something you've worked incredibly hard to build? Whether that's a business, a band, a creative project, or a personal brand. Let's be honest, it costs nothing but a click. That small action carries far more weight than most people realize when it comes to visibility, reach, and algorithms. Yet time and time again, the people closest to us seem to be the least likely to engage. And before anyone says, maybe they didn't see it, let's be real, people live on their phones. You can literally see who watches your stories minutes after you post. Yet there's no reaction, no comment, no share, just radio silence. What's even more interesting is how quick people are to support artists, bands, and creators that don't personally know. They'll spend hundreds or thousands of dollars over time on concerts, merch, and experiences for people they don't even know they exist. But when it comes to supporting someone in their own circle with a simple like or share, suddenly that support disappears. Why do you think that is? Is it jealousy, a lack of belief, fear of association, or something deeper about how we view success when it comes from people close to us? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your answers in the comments below or email your perspective to theliquidshapepodcast@gmail.com. All right. Well, this was a very popular topic, and I'm glad that I brought it up because we got a lot of comments from a lot of people. And obviously, this is a hot topic, and it's controversial because it's basically calling out your friends and family for shitty behaviors. And that's okay. I mean, that's what we
called out.
You're being called out? Oh, damn.
I'm like, oh shit.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're accountable for that. And now maybe you can start sharing your stuff and supporting the business, man. That's not good. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and read I'll read the first one here. This one comes in from Pauline Silenced Voice. I think it's jealousy a lot. I get more support from strangers than the friends I grew up with and the family that has seen me struggle. But every time I was doing bad, LOL, they would hype me up. A little backwards with the thinking. Other times it's just doom scrolling and people are on autopilot. And then a very small category of infiltration. The haters who watch just to report back or talk about your downfall. Either way, disconnecting yourself from the thought of receiving gratification for your art, and other than being proud of oneself, you are fighting a losing battle. Never put your bar of success in anyone else's hands. Very well said, Pauline. Oh my God, yes. I 100% agree with all of that. Yeah, don't put your success in someone else's opinions. A lot of the times, the people that will shit on your work, the people that will criticize you and critique you in a negative way, not constructive, because there's two different ways of looking at that, and two ways of how that feedback comes in. A lot of those times, those people have like the worst taste. Like I'll just flat out I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out. I've had people that are friends of mine. I don't even ask for their opinion. They'll come up to me and flat out tell me, yeah, I'm not a fan of your band. I don't like your band. I don't like your music. I don't like the sound of it. It's not my style. And I'm like, dude, I never even asked you. I don't care. I don't give a...
just give this unsolicited feedback.
Unsolicited feedback. Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck. I didn't ask you. And it doesn't... No, it is rude, but it also... I don't give a fuck if you don't like my music.
Yeah.
You're not the one buying tickets to my shows. You're not the one sharing my shit. You're not the one that's buying the CDs or saying what's good about it, because I know damn well that our music's not for everybody. That's fine. We can still be friends. We can still hang out, whatever. Yeah. But showing support just by like saying what maybe you do like about it or what we're doing a good job with,
but just
that's a whole different thing.
Right. But just to come straight out and just be like, oh yeah, your band. Oh yeah, I don't like it. Well, fuck you.
It's not my style. And then here's what I do. When that happens,
fine.
I go, all right. You don't like my band. Okay, let me go take a look and see what you've done. And if it's enough, I can guarantee you this. It's never anything. They've never done anything better than me. Their music's not in any way, shape, or form like good, in my opinion. So we probably don't relate on that level. And it's usually just, I would say it's out of jealousy. And sorry if you take offense to that. Sorry, not sorry, because you're telling me bluntly how you feel. I'm telling you bluntly now how I feel. Yeah. So that's my personal opinion on people that do that kind of shit. It's just, it's shitty.
That stuff,
it makes me laugh. I never even ask. I don't ask you for...
You think I'm going to like care about what you say or think, or like I'm going to be jealous of you? Sorry, no. I've never met anybody that's been rude to me or made a comment to me that I would trade positions with. Nope.
Yeah. I always, and then your credibility is shot to shit. When I review, I go back and I'm like, okay, let me see what this person's value of their opinion is to me, what it means to me.
For sure.
Like, what's the...
Yeah, and like you said, it's fine if you don't like the band or for my experience, like it's fine if you don't like what I'm doing or what I'm into. Who cares? But the backhanded comments, like, does that make you fucking feel good? Like, go fuck.
Or am I going to quit doing my thing because of you, because of your opinion?
Because your one little opinion from Salem, fucking Oregon. Eat my whole ass. Like, calm down.
Jesus, wow.
I've had a lot of coffee. I have not taken my Adderall this
morning. That always gets me heated just thinking about that. And it's just like, well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to keep elevating myself and keep rubbing it in your fucking face, because you're going to have to deal with it, because I know you're looking. I know you are scrolling. You are constantly checking it out, and
that's
you're going to die in your jealousy. You're going to die with jealousy.
Yep. And that's why I don't block people. Look at my shit. Look at my shit.
And I mean, there's a bit of doom scrolling there, but when you're constantly posting and sharing your stuff and you're not getting anything from people, I think there's a clear sign there that they just don't support you and don't like what you 100%. Do. So fuck those people. The next one is from Kimmery Erickson. People don't understand how the algorithms work. I sure don't. All I know is if someone supports me, I do them. I try to go through and like and comment every day on my friend's stuff. I support you too. I'm trying to build my Kimspirational brand too. It takes a hot minute. Keep going. Hell yeah, Kimmery. You keep going as well. And I love that. I love seeing things that are inspiring, and we need more of that. And that's kind of like what this podcast is kind of trying to do. I want to motivate and I want to inspire people and all that kind of stuff. And for those folks that don't understand how the algorithm works is this. You have to post a lot frequently every day, and you have to get engagement. So sometimes you literally do have to like your own post. You have to leave a comment or a link in your comments. You can't post an external link inside your post, because if you do, the like Facebook or TikTok or whatever, they will bury that. They don't want you to leave their platforms. They do not want you to leave their platform. So you have to put it in the comments. You cannot include it inside the actual post itself. And they need to see engagement. So the first minute or first couple of minutes are what matters the most. So as soon as you go in there, you need to leave a comment. You need to like the post. You need to share it on your stories or whatever. And you need to have engagement. So when people are commenting, you need to comment back, like their posts or their comments that they're leaving. You need to there's a lot of little tricks and stupid things you need to do. So the more people interact with that, the more likes you get, the more shares you get, the more that Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and all them showing it to other folks, and the more chance it has of going viral. So that's the simple way to explain how the algorithms work. And I know that other people understand that as well for the most of what I just said, and they just don't want to do it because they're shitty. It costs a free freaking click to do it.
Well, I feel like, too, depending on the platform, like, say, Facebook, for instance, I feel like I don't ever see people's posts until, like, weeks or months later. And I'm like... Oh.
That's because there's no engagement on that. Unfortunately, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Like,
or if they post an external link, like if they post something like, oh, go to this website or go to this video or whatever that's outside of Facebook, it buries it. They don't want you to leave their platforms.
Yeah.
So that people do sorts of like... They trick the system by going in and leaving the link in the comments instead, or they will mention go to our YT instead of YouTube, because they're just looking for that kind of stuff too. Like, and it's ugly and it's gross, and I absolutely hate how the algorithms work, but that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
Looks like we have a comment here from Stevel Helmer. The most valid evidence of success was when people I don't know and never met started supporting me with cash money.
Yeah.
They bought merch and music consistently. It meant success on my own merit. 1971 to 2026, I've played guitar for 55 years now. Why would I care if my high school buddies shared my stuff? I don't. LOL. P.S. I've never met you, Cody, but I still share your music to a group I've run for 17 years. You got the fire, brother. The fire. Hell yeah. I love it. I always love Stevel's responses. They're always great. Very inspiring. Seems like a cool dude. I have worked with lots of people and learned a lot. Sony Music. I'm on Rock Band, produced by Sterling Winfield, who did Pantera. Well, fuck yeah, Pantera. I had one of Ronnie James Dio's guitars appear on a song written by me. That is fucking awesome.
Cool.
The thing I learned the most is be humble always. Nobody owed me success. I had to earn it. 100% clap for that, Steve. That is 100% true. No one owes you shit. You got to work. Board. We do.
Soundboard.
I can put effects on it afterwards if you want, but like I just love that, because it is very true that who cares what your high school buddies think? Again, they're not going to buy the CDs. No. They're just not. That's just not going to work. I have a lot of high school buddies that don't care at all what I'm doing. There's some that do, so shout out to those that do, but they're doing their thing, and whatever, it is what it is. If you don't care for what I'm doing, that is. So being humble, that's 100% true. I agree with that. Unfortunately, with music and entertainment, people let it get to their freaking heads, and it's like, you can't. Here's the thing with music, you do, and with entertainment in general, you have to be perceived as larger than life and bigger than you actually are, but don't believe your own hype, because if you do, that's when shit gets ugly, and then you become you're not humble, and then you get ego and you get all that stuff. And that I've done that before, and that's not good. It's not good. It leads to burning bridges and loss of friends and loss of opportunities and all that shit.
You always have to remember, nobody owes you anything.
And at the end of the day, we're entertainers. We're not curing cancer. We're not saving the world from diseases and that. We are saving the world in a sense. I agree with that, because you're helping people with mental health and with that kind of stuff, and that's huge. But at the end of the day, we all put our freaking pants on one leg at a time, unless you jump into it.
I just jump into it full board.
All right.
Balls deep.
Next one is from Ricky Six. And shout out to Ricky. He's a hardworking musician. I always see him hustling, and drummer from Salem and been in many bands. And, he's always hustling and promoting the projects he's involved in. And so he says here, lots of envy, jealousy, self-loathing, scared of talent, egotistical sense of importance. You just got to be consistent and vigilant, and agree with every single one of those, bro. Like, that is very freaking true. There is a lot of envy and jealousy. The problem is that people expect that if you just post once online and people are going to take it from there and know that you exist. No, you have to consistently post, consistently share things, consistently get creative, see what works, see what doesn't work, try it again. There's so much, there's not one way to do this band thing, unfortunately. There's just so many things out there that you have to, and different things work for different folks. You got to find your audience, and you got to push. There's a lot of self-loathing, yes, because there's those people that are choosing to not move the needle forward or push it, and that's on them. That's not your fault. That if you're a person that's a go-getter and you're reaching for the stars and you're doing everything you can to make your dreams and your goals happen, that's not anyone else's fault if you choose not to do that. That's on your own. Let's see. I'll let you read the next couple.
One is my cousin, Kelly Jo Kinney. Been asking myself that exact question for the 6 years I've had my business. There are a select few family and friends that consistently comment, share, and support my business, but it's a very select few. And honestly, it boils down to interest. If it's not something someone's interested in, they don't give it their time, no matter if it's a friend or family member, or maybe because it's a friend or family member. Like acknowledging the post or sharing it. It would be like saying, I like this and I'm interested, tell me more, when they really aren't. So they don't want to take the chance that they'll start getting more posts from you for shit that they could care less about. Another thought is time. It takes time to share things, especially if it's something only a select few of your friends would be interested in it. So you have to take the time to select those few people to share it privately with, because you don't want to share it to your page for everyone to see. My final thought, it's because no one gives a shit. This world is falling apart. The economy is in the toilet. People are divided over every freaking thing. And no one really cares if your business sinks or swims because it doesn't affect them. So yeah, the struggle is real. Now, if you'll pardon me, I'll have to go look for a job. I feel bad because I feel like I haven't really supported Kelly because I don't know that I've seen it. Last I remember was she was a nurse, but maybe she did. I mean, maybe like when she first started, but I don't remember ever seeing like posts more recently about her business. So I feel like I'm failing my cousin.
Well, now you have a reason to go on there and take a look and
be more mindful
of it, and start sharing.
Kelly's a sweetheart.
Yeah, and I get the whole, like, maybe my people will not like it, or my audience may not like it, or whatever you want to call your followings on your social media platforms. But there's a very good chance that at least one or two people will dig it. Probably a lot more people, or that could find use from for a business, or that could potentially benefit from it. And if there's just one person, if there's just one single person that can benefit from it, or that will like it, that find interest in it, it's worth it. It's worth it for those people that are putting in the work for their business or for that band to get an extra fan or to get an extra customer or what have you. It is definitely worth it. And it costs you nothing. I don't know how many times I have to say that. It costs you a click of a share. You don't even have to word anything. There's an option on there where you just literally hit share or repost, and you don't have to say anything. It takes less than a second.
That's why I like how Instagram is set up, how you can share, but it just keeps it.
Yeah, it doesn't cloud up your timeline.
So I love that. But then I see, like, anytime I share stuff, people are obviously seeing it because I can see it shows you when they like it or when they reshare it and stuff like that. So I like
how that works too. And I think Facebook maybe will hopefully go that route. That'd be cool if they have a platform.
Meta, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they work together. I think they're tied together. Yeah. Maybe we'll see that happen. And this is just a good reminder that support, and it can make a big difference in someone's life and their creativity and their businesses.
All right. Our next one is Curious Emberborn. I think it's a fear-based response. If you succeed as a regular person, then that shines the light on where they could have succeeded if they had chosen to take the risk on themselves and their dreams. If a person's belief system says that it's not possible, then unconsciously they will be less supportive to protect that belief system. When a person is committed to their belief, they will unconsciously destroy anything to maintain it. That's very true.
Oh, I love that because it is a fact. People, here's what's funny. I was just thinking about this the other day. With the world being so divided on everything, people love to go and find the information that agrees with what they believe instead of looking for potentially a different perspective or quote unquote the facts or whatever the facts may be, whatever. They like to find something that agrees with how they think already, and then they push that and they support that. And the minute that something doesn't, that's fake news or that's whatever. It's so funny how us as people, as humans, I'm guilty of that myself. I will admit it. I love to find things that support what I believe or think. And then sometimes we're like, I'm going to go out of my way. I'm going to go find something that completely goes against what I believe or think. And I'm going to go fucking cause some shit with that. I'm going to troll it. You know what I mean? Like, but there's a lot of people that do that too.
Yeah.
And that's human nature, I think. But you're right on when you say that, like, if you don't support it, you're wanting to prove that your dream, if you reach for those dreams, it's not going to happen, or you can't. It's an unconscious thing in your head.
Yeah.
It's convincing yourself that if I don't support this, it's because I knew I was right, that if I went this route, that it was a dead end dream.
I'm doing the next one. I read it too.
I read a couple already.
All right. I'm gonna butcher this last name. Presnell? Okay. Brian Presnell. I've been wondering the same thing. I make content on TikTok and Instagram. I play guitar, usually covers, make funny shit, etc. I don't expect to be rich off it or even really make money anytime soon, but I do like making people laugh and sharing music others may like. I have 2 friends that are always liking and sharing my stuff, but the other 98 won't do shit. They will look at it, but no likes, no shares, no fuck you, what do you need, or nothing. They share strangers' content all day long. I don't know if it's jealousy thing or what. I like that. Isn't that what's this Tiger King guy? No, fuck you, what do you need, or nothing.
I love it. I love it, Brian. I love it. Yeah, it's true. And I find that TikTok is the most frustrating for the platforms. Like,
I feel like now that
TikTok or Instagram too, like those two are working so similar right now that it's making it so that not many people are seeing it, or I don't know if they're being more strict about how much they're showing it depending on the reactions you get within the first seconds. I have heard that TikTok, they show it to a very small audience. The minute you post something, they give it about a minute to show it to a very small group of people. And if those people don't react to it or what have you, they will instantly like bury it. And you're going to get maybe like, you might get like, if you're lucky, 50, or I've seen some that like I get like 30 reactions, but then I post something that just like is complete shit posting. I'll get like 5,000 or 10,000 or something more like views and a bunch of hearts and all that. It's like, why? Like, what the hell? Like,
it's weird too with TikTok because I was trying to like build it there for a while, and so I kind of stepped back and I'm not posting every day or multiple times a day. And it, I don't know why, but it's like every day I'm getting more and more traction, it feels like, not posting. Like all my older videos, especially ones that didn't do well, like all of a sudden are getting likes and comments and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I just don't understand it.
I wonder if what they're trying to do, and I wouldn't be surprised by this, but it's because of how fucking these systems work, is they probably see that you're not active. So let's give her that attention and that hype to get engaged again, so she'll start going again. That's probably what they're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised because the algorithms are so fucking crazy.
It's just too much.
It is. Like, I get so angry about it.
Oh, it's just so much time. And I'm like, to do this, I'm like, I have a job. I have a family. Like, I don't have time to just be on my phone all fucking day to do this shit. Like,
imagine how it is for us creators. Like, I have to create content.
You're not fucking sucking off fucking TikTok or Instagram. They're like, here, go eat a dick.
Yeah. And people just don't realize that. Like, people think, oh, you just create content and you share it, or you just this and that. It's like, no, there's so much work and so much that goes into it. And people are like, oh, it must be nice to be a creator. Like the people that actually like an influencer and all that shit. Mm-hmm. Those influencers out there that are making those getting those millions of views and whatnot are putting in lots of time and lots of hours in creating content. And for us smaller people that are getting not even a fraction of those views and reactions and comments and all of that, imagine how frustrating that is for us and all the work that we put into it just to get a couple of comments here, a couple of hearts, whatever. And that stuff, it sounds silly to be bitching and complaining about that stuff, but this is what we have to do to get our music out there. This is what we have to do to be heard by the masses and get our audience out there to have our music heard. And never did I once think when I was a kid when I wanted to be a musician that I would have to be a content creator and pushing this kind of crap.
You
didn't have to back then.
You had a whole team.
Yeah. So that said, Route Iron says they understand how the algorithm works. If they like something, they will see more of it in their feed, and they simply do not want that. It's a calculated and purposeful avoidance. It's actually kind of mean.
My thing, I will say, and this is probably me being a dick, so my bad to anybody that's trying to work a business. I mean, let's be real and call it what they are, the MLM, right? I've worked too back in the day. I did Arbonne and I did, oh my God, there was like a nutrition one that I did, Isogenics or something like that back in the day, so I get it. But in those situations, to me, I don't engage with those because it's not that I don't want to share and help you grow. It's that if you start sharing and liking, then you have them reaching out, wanting you to subscribe and start buying all the stuff and then get into the program to be the affiliate and start selling it and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't want to fucking do that. I want to support you, but I don't want to be a part of that. I don't have time to do that. I'm not going to invest money into this product. Like, it's probably not something I'm interested in to begin with, but I do want to share and help you. But with those situations, those types of companies, because I remember I did it, under you, salespeople under you. So your top dog is making the most, and then you're hoping to eventually get there. You're probably not, no offense, unless this day and age, I feel like it's so hard to climb up because it's so saturated versus where it was maybe like 20 years ago.
It was hard back then.
Yeah.
I was a part of, I worked in those things too, and it sucked.
Yeah.
It was not
Remember when I
fun.
tried getting you into the insurance thing I was doing too? I did a few of them actually.
You tried to hustle me back in the day?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. So this whole flowers and champagne with freaking whatnot that I brought to you, that was just a way to seduce me into your company.
Fine.
Oh my God, don't say that. Wow. Okay. Anyways, Randy Cable says, that's a really interesting phenomenon that I've observed myself. I used to make a lot of humor memes, but people wouldn't ever like or share them, but they'd like and share a meme from a meme page that is nearly identical. Oh. I've had people share memes I've made when they were shared on a meme page who never liked anything I've ever posted. I'm still trying to figure out the psychological phenomenon underlining this social proclivity. Yeah, so true. You see that too.
Well, and especially something so...
That's some haterade shit.
Yeah, that is hater. Because I'm like, just humor memes? Who doesn't love a humor meme? But you won't share it when it's your friend, but you'll share it when it's on a
meme page. What is like? Yeah, it's so ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Because it's not like you're selling something that could be whatever. Obviously, that's a niche area.
And something that's just as simple as like
leave it
like just give it a like or give it a quick comment. Like, dude, that was hilarious. I love this. Like on the person's page that created it. Like that people are...
John Wold, I've seen this play out a ton, and honestly, it stings every time. Here's what I've observed from my personal experience. First off, multi-level marketing or network marketing. I've been involved in it for a long time, and I genuinely believe it's a great side hustle, especially for stay-at-home moms or anyone wanting to build something on their own. My uncle's made tens of millions in the industry, so I know it can change lives when people put in the work. That said, people love the idea of it until it's their buddy posting nonstop. Suddenly hitting like feels like signing up for a full-blown pitch session. Kind of what I just said, yeah. We get our emotions wrapped up in it when we post and get crickets, especially from close people. It feels like straight-up personal rejection. New reps get so hyped they slide into your DMs the second you react. It's exhausting. People learn quick. Easier to ghost the post than risk getting verbally mugged for a subscription or worse, immediately asked to recruit your own friends and family after you buy in. It's a social business. That's how it operates, and some people make a fortune and truly transform their lives this way. But when the new venture becomes someone's whole identity, it can turn off even the most supportive friends. That's the thing. It becomes the whole identity. No one wants every interaction to feel transactional. Second big one, success jealousy. When you're winning new businesses, big wins, whatever, and they're feeling stuck, your post isn't just cool. It's a mirror that they don't like looking into. Your highlight reel reflects their own situation and the lighting sucks. So instead of support, you get silence, or they support some random influencer they've never met. Why? Strangers don't threaten their ego. There's still magic, distance, mystery, and awe. Your cousin or buddy? They've seen you at your absolute worst, crying over dumb stuff and sweatpants. You have no pedestal left in their eyes. But the influencer doing the exact same things, easy to engage because there's zero real stakes or comparison to their own life. Bottom line, familiarity doesn't breed engagement. It breeds apathy, fear, and envy. Strangers can cheer without feeling threatened or obligated. Close people, your growth can feel like a subtle jab at their stagnation. And honestly, that's on them. We can only keep creating, posting, building. Let the quiet ones stay quiet. The right support will show up, often from places you least expect. Keep grinding, Cody. Your band's worth the shares, likes, and love, even if it starts with the strangers first.
I love that, John. I love all what John just said right there. It's so freaking true. And I can tell that when John sends these, it's very well thought out, and he's speaking with knowledge and experience in this. And I absolutely love hearing from John all the time, because very smart guy. Mm-hmm. And when he says that it's a mirror for people looking into their own life, and they don't want to see someone else doing better than them, it's like,
that's big too.
It's huge. It's very true, because people are like, well, if I want my life to be I want to be living my best life, but I don't want someone doing better than me, especially someone I know, personally know. And I think it goes back to what we were talking about before on one of the previous episodes, I think the last one, where people are only showing you the highlight reels of their ups. They don't show you their downfalls and all that. So the comparing, it's really easy to compare yourself and be like, well, how come my life's not like that? And how come I'm not? And I've had to break myself out of that. And luckily I'm no longer really like that. I used to look at, I look at other bands that were similar to our size or whatever in other parts of the world and parts of the country, and I'd be like, I know we're doing everything right and we're hustling and whatnot. How come that band's doing that or getting the opportunity? I don't compare myself anymore to anybody else. I really don't even look at what other bands are doing anymore. And maybe I'm doing that because I don't want to fall into that stump, that world where I'm just thinking like I'm discouraged. A lot of it also is I just don't want people thinking that we're trying to take ideas from other people, because you get accused of that sometimes if you have similar thought processes and whatnot. And it's like, nope, I'm just going to create my own art. I'm going to worry about what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep pushing what I'm doing and not focus on what other people are doing. I'm not going to compare my opportunities with theirs. And I'm just going to keep pushing forward for myself. Thanks for sharing, John. This one comes in from Instagram, and it's from Rainman McMillan. It's a psychological groupthink. People don't want to be wrong or on the wrong side of a trend. It's why ICP was seen as the worst band ever before the Vice hipsters started going to the gathering. Now it's the greatest subculture on the planet. There will never be a middle ground. You will go from sorry, gotta work that night, but have a good show, to saw you at Ozfest, without much transition when it happens. Also, this is kind of dark. Your friends and family may not be the target audience. My girlfriend hated my quote unquote music, but we ended up doing really well. Godspeed. I love that. That's very true. Like, what's funny is that as much hate as ICP still gets to this day, and they got back in the day, they're self-made millionaires. Yeah. And they did build a subculture, a great subculture. And now
do have some great songs.
I like some of their stuff. Yeah. Am I a Juggalo? No. Dude, here's the thing. American Overdose has played so many shows in the past with ICP, like with Juggalo bands and all that. And we even played the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2015. And they have an awesome, great crowd, very accepting fan base, and they're open-minded to bands of our style. Mm-hmm. And when we went and played the Gathering, it was like, I always tell people, I'm like, you want to see something that you've never seen in your life, even if you've gone to like tons of festivals, there's nothing like the Gathering of the Juggalos that you're going to be able to compare to other festivals. Mm-hmm. You got to go experience it for yourself to see it, because it's I can't put it into words. So yeah, your family and friends may not be the target audience. So I will argue with that and say that, I agree. Maybe your music's not for them, but they can simply just give you a like so that it keeps going in the algorithm, or they can give it a share. Because again, one person on their feed, I promise you, will like it, and it can help you get fans. And that's all it takes. It's a simple free click, people. It's a free click that you have to do.
Click.
And I pay attention to what I always look and see. I pay attention to those things. And I remember who doesn't like the stuff, who doesn't share it, who's watching my stories but isn't sharing or interacting with it. Why are you watching my stories? If you're not interested in what I'm doing, if you really don't like what I'm doing, why are you even looking at my stories? I know it's not by accident, because it's always the same people. So whatever. You guys want to be haters, you can be haters. The next one comes from TikTok, and it's from Nick BEADG. This is something I always think about, and it's frustrating because it's so quick and easy just to show a little support like that. Agreed. I think we touched on that.
Yep.
This one comes in from Twitter X, Rebecca Love. Honestly, I feel they don't want to get the person's hopes the person's hope up. I think they feel that maybe if they don't support whatever it is, that they can show that it wasn't meant to be and that they will still love and support you in your failure. The next one's from Lance, also on Twitter X. Good question. Probably lack of belief, maybe. They don't think you're capable of creating something worthwhile, or maybe people just don't care at all.
Very true.
Very true.
All of it. I mean, I think it's just situational, obviously.
I'm noticing a trend here with what people are saying. It's like there's a lot of jealousy in there. There's a lot of people don't want to get someone's hopes up. But to me, that still feels crazy. If that's what's really going on, it's crazy to me to think that why would you not encourage it anyways? Like, think about it. A lot of these people probably have kids. Yeah. They probably have nephews, nieces, whatever. Do you tell your kid, like, when they're trying to learn to walk or talk or ride a bike or whatever, like, oh, don't do that, you're going to fall, or you're going to whatever? Like, do you stop them from developing and growing at that point to keep them from getting hurt or from potential? Like, it's, I don't get it. That mindset doesn't make sense to me. And the last one here is from Sean Andriano. Did Cody get much free time in his own head today? No. Think it's because people that aren't in public eye or knows how it works doesn't understand what a simple like or comment can really help out. So it's not a thought. Me personally, don't read half the shit you say, but still like. Thanks a lot, Sean. I know he's being a smart ass because he had a little thing, whatever there. But this actually got sparked from this whole conversation. Didn't get sparked from me. It got sparked from a person that was involved in the project of the time bomb video. I didn't want to Time bomb. I didn't want to put their name out just on blast like that because they're friends and family that may be listening or whatever. Yeah, unless someone says, "Hey, go ahead and say it." I don't care. I don't. But yeah, so it wasn't something that sparked from me. It was something that you see people complain about it online. I see people mentioning it, and before, like I said, I used to get upset about this, but I don't get as upset anymore. It still sucks just as much as I thought it sucked when I first was starting to see that this was happening. But now I just look at it as like, okay, I know that you don't support me. I'm not going to support what you do. I won't pay attention to what you do. I won't even open up your pages or put your posts or anything like that. I'm just going to ignore it. Not watch your stories, not whatever. I don't need to pay attention to what you're doing because you're not supporting me. It works both ways. And I feel like I just don't let it get to me. I'm very thankful. And I will always say this. I'm very, very thankful for everybody that shares our stuff, that's behind everything that I do. And that's why I try my best to be as authentic and as real as possible with people. I try to interact back with people. I respond back. I've really cut back and I've stopped opening DMs anymore just because there's a lot of weird stuff that I receive. I've gotten death threats and people asking me for money.
I was going to say asking for money is what blows my mind.
Unreal. What? I don't know if they think that I'm like made of money or that the American Overdose maybe is making a lot of money or something. I don't know. I don't know what their thought process is, but I've had a lot of people reach out to ask for money and it's unreal. It's like, I don't owe you shit, for one. For two, no. It takes a lot of money to invest in the band and in my projects and in everything I do. And I work very hard for that. I work multiple jobs for it and I put a lot of time into everything. So no, I'm not going to give you your money. You can get up off your ass and fucking hustle. That's what you need to do.
That's just, so weird to me when you're like, here's another fucking DM of someone asking for money. I'm like, what the someone you don't even know. Yeah. Someone in a completely different state on the other side of the country. Like, whatever. What?
I've given money before. In the very beginning, I felt bad for people and I threw money out. And then later I would find out that people were spending it on drugs and like bad habits and that kind of shit. It's like, fuck you. Like that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Work. That's what I like to promote is work, hustle, get off your ass and get shit done, man. That's what you got to do. It's a grind. Life is a grind. And whatever your goals are, you got to fucking, you got to push.
Get a job to fund your party, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And especially now, even more so than ever. I don't care if you drink or you use or whatever, do it on your own, do it on your own dollar. Don't be stealing from people. Don't be begging for money so you can get drunk or high. Like, go do that on your own. Work for it. At least when I was drinking and partying, I was using my own damn money. I wasn't begging for it or any of that kind of shit.
No.
Yeah, thank you guys all so much for all of these comments and interacting, man. I love this. I think this is healthy talk. This is good conversation. Yeah. I love hearing from people, and it's awesome to see that people are, just from the comments that I saw here, a lot of people are thinking the same way and
absolutely.
Questioning things. And I love just hearing from people and their 2 cents. Is there anything else you want to say? What do you got going on? Yeah.
Pushing through life, man.
Living, hustling, and surviving.
No, but I feel good. I feel great, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, folks, we're going to end this portion of the podcast. But like I said, please stick around because we have our guest, Stephanie Tice, and we had a great conversation, and I'm very excited for that to post here. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Liquid Shape Podcast. I'm very excited about today's episode. I have a multi-talented individual here, friend of mine. She is a model, she is a painter, and she draws, and she does all sorts of fantastic stuff. Her name is Stephanie Tice. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to have you on here, and excited to have you tell us about all about you. I know you and I have crossed paths in the past from doing shows and when you lived out here in the area, but I don't think I ever really got to know you that well. So I'm going to open up the forum and just go ahead and tell me about yourself. Tell the listeners about you and what you do and just your upcomings and everything you want to tell us.
Sure. Well, thank you so much to the Liquid Shape. Cody, thank you so much for having me. I was very excited for the invite. I am really looking forward to more episodes too. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And then as far as just a little bit of a backstory on what I do. Yes, I do paint, but I did start off modeling. A lot of people in your area probably know me in Portland, working with a lot of different artists in there. I kind of had a nickname for myself. It was like Dark Beauty, I guess, at the time. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it was kind of my sort of, I guess, kind of beauty within chaos sort of look. So like broken buildings down, but it was meant for more of an artistic, poetic sort of thing, sort of vision. And then with that, I just started doing stuff from Portland, and then I hit Seattle, and then I started in LA, and that's where I ended up out here near the Malibu area, and that's where I'm at now. And I guess from there, I started painting a lot too. I didn't realize that was something else I had in order to kind of be creative, and I've been doing that as well as picking up some modeling in Portland in the next couple months too. I'll be visiting.
Nice. You'll be out here. I do remember seeing the pictures that you were in, and they were all so awesome. They were very artistic. I could tell that it was really well thought out. When did you start modeling? Like how old were you when you first started doing it? Or what?
Yeah, I was actually a late bloomer, and I will always give credit to my brother, Aaron Gregory Austin. He just I was actually going through a pretty tough time. And he was just like, you kind of need to get out of your normal everyday routine. He's like, just jump in front of the camera. And I was just, I told him, I do not model. In fact, at the time when I thought about models, I was just like, I'm not going to sit there with my hand up on my chin. That's just not me. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I completely had a different idea of it. But once I was in front of the camera and shot a couple of times, Tim Van Bergen, Lillian Wild, who else? Rod Black even. Jamie O'Neill was one of my favorite makeup artists, and a couple of my other ones that I haven't shot up with as much. Luke Olson, I will be shooting pretty soon here. Dan Thome was probably my favorite. Dan Thome, I didn't say that right. But once I started working with Dan, that's kind of where my creative side came out. And I don't know, it's just something like, it's like when you make music, you feel it. There's like this energy. It's like something kind of almost comes over you, and you just kind of start creating. And then with your entire team, the lighting, the photographers, all of them, it's creative. It's creating a movie. It's creating a moment. It's passionate.
Love it. How involved do you get, like, as far as what you're going to wear, what the atmosphere is going to be, the scenery, the poses and all that? How involved do you get in that? And where do you get your inspiration for some of the poses?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite models, because of her very sharp posing, is her name's Mosh. It's Mosh. And I first saw her posing, and it was just the way that she holds her angles, her arms, and it's very unique. So if you have a chance to look her up, it'll give you an idea of some angle work. So if you're an inspiring model or artist, please check her out. It'll give you some practice. But I always practice beforehand. And then as far as involvement, I think it was always a team effort. We'd come up with some visual ideas, and then as far as wardrobe and makeup, it became a team, and everybody wanted to be a part of it because it was just so creative and fun. Some of it was paid, and some of it wasn't. Some of it was print. So, but that's where it led to, because of that passion, because of that. You stick with it.
100%. As a musician myself, I understand that sometimes getting the right shots or getting the right opportunities can open up a lot more doors than if you got paid like $500 or whatever to pose. So I love that. You have to have passion for some of these things, and then that shows in the camera. I think it shows in anything that you do. And that will open up opportunities for you. I got to say, doing music videos and doing poses and all that is no easy work. I can't imagine doing that as a model. So mad props to you for being able to do that kind of stuff, because I get frustrated when we're doing band shots and just music videos, and that's just a quick whatever. I can't imagine doing some of these poses that I've seen that you like in your pictures. Like you have to hold still, and I don't know how you can do that. Like, do you wake up like the next day like, oh, I'm hurting or anything like that? Like, is it painful, or do you just get used to it, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, some of my shots, yeah, I've had to use like very tall boots. And so when there's certain positions, like there's been like one time my hips like literally popped out. So I kind of like had to stand up real quick. There's been times where I've done like heels and my feet will start bleeding. And then there's the weather. I shot a lot of my stuff in Seattle and Portland, and that was really cold weather. So you kind of have to be ready for that. You can't really show that in the face. You're kind of like, 1, 2, 3, okay, go. 1, 2, 3, okay, go. Yeah, it gets, but that's part of it too. It's like, once that moment is over, that you can just, put on a coat and get some great shots and work with some great people.
Yeah. I love how you said that at first you had this idea of what models were and you're like, no, I'm not that. But then you gave it a shot and you kind of you brought in your own flavor. It's like, it's kind of like when I'll just relate it to what I do, like with music, like you bring in this inspiration of your own and you add your own. You add your own twist to it. And I think that's really cool that you had the open mind to say, you know what, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. And you didn't do the typical stuff that you didn't want to do and that you see in like the poses and whatnot. So that's so cool that you do that. Are you doing that full time right now?
Well, that's part of it too, is that I want to encourage people, like if you find inspiration, no matter what kind of art you do, and I even consider, if you don't feel like you're a painter or like the modeling, and even consider like decorating homes, there's all kinds of different ways of being an artist. If you find somebody that inspires you, it's not copying. It'll lead you towards your own niche of things, but just keep inspired by those people.
I love that. And I love that you say that. And mad props again to another thing that you do that I 100% like I'm fascinated by, and that's that your paintings and your drawing. I took art classes, I'm not kidding you, from when I was able to in middle school all through high school. I can't draw anything. I can barely draw stick figures. So just seeing some of your paintings that you do, I'm just like it's very, very fascinating to see the colors that you use and just like these ideas that you have, and like where do you draw your inspiration from for some of these paintings? Like do you listen to certain music, or do you go to certain locations and it brings inspiration? Or as an artist, how do you get inspired to just sit down and start drawing? And
I think it's both, and I think you have to find your own prescription for it too. So I think it's also outside sometimes as an influence. For me specifically, there's actually a word for it. It's called synesthesia or synesthesia. And so when I hear music, I can actually close my eyes and see the colors. So when there's certain music that I hear, I see those beats of music. Like if you're playing the drum or something, I can see the colors like beating off of it. And so I use that and sometimes repeat the song over and over. For most people, it would drive them insane. But for me, I have to repeat it several times to get through to either get through that painting, or it creates other colors as I go. Well, and then there's other pieces. Like I'm working on a piece for a client who loves Ozzy, so I'm doing a piece. So then there's other pieces that will come to me. People specifically are interested in those colorful pieces, but they're more, like Ozzy. Ozzy's going to be a colorful piece. So, but yeah, I guess that's where I get. And everything inspires me. People inspire me. Everything inspires me.
That's so cool. Did you take art classes before? Like growing up, were you into drawing and painting, or is that just something kind of you just over time and just started doing it?
I've always scribbled, but no, I never took classes. I think it was more the material I was using that I found out that I was able to do it. And it was kind of just by experimenting. I always loved art. I've always loved museums. I always wanted to be an artist, and I don't know, it just kind of clicked one day.
I love that. I someday want to just when I see things like when you post those things, I'm like, I have a buddy of mine who paints as well and does some cool stuff. I'm just like, one of these days I just got to just give it a shot and just try it and to see like what comes out of because I haven't tried it in years, probably since like actually when I was in high school. And I just wondered like if maybe I would just look at it or approach it in a different fashion than I did back then. Back then I was a lot of like looking at something and trying to emulate it. And not really seeing things in my head that I wanted to paint. I was always just trying to like see a visual and then try to replicate it. And I never was happy with what I was doing with it. So
I think you could, because you've come so far with your music and your creativity when it comes to that. I think you'll be able to match that same energy or that same creation process. I mean, you don't even have to create anything, just throw paint on it or do whatever and just get that feeling of enjoying it. And then maybe it'll find you.
You're not wrong, and I like how you said that. I liked how you said that there's multiple ways to express in art. Like it could be decorating, it could be some people just write poetry, some people create music, some people paint, some people they take their art to designing on cars and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you participate in a lot of art shows, or how are you like? How do you typically go showcase your art?
Well, I'm very, very, very grateful that I had my first show. I think it was last summer. I can't. I don't. I hope it wasn't 2 summers ago. But if it was, hopefully, if I'm not wrong. But Buzz Seiler is a very well-known artist in Portland that moved out to California, and he's always inspired me. And he actually invited me to share some space at his place in La Jolla, California. And so I had my first the first. And outside of that, I truly believe pounding the pavement works a lot. You talk about it, create with other people. It works. It does work with that. And I think it's also helped me avoid a lot of things because I've been approached by people who want to represent me. And I feel like a lot of them just wanted me to go towards things that I really wasn't wanting. It would change me a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And then I would recreate something that I would have to keep up with instead of actually truly enjoy. So I think this process so far is still working. I have some upcoming things that, hopefully will go towards that, but I'm not afraid to still work it myself though.
I love that. I could tell that you're very passionate about what you do, and that's like we were saying, that's the key thing, especially when it comes to art and staying true to yourself. Did you grow up in Portland, or did you grow up down there, or what? Like, how did you go from Portland to California? Like, how'd that all happen?
I did. I grew up in, I'm from Portland, but actually grew up in Hillsboro. So
Okay.
Hillsboro. So I grew up Hillsboro or Hillsboro, or I forget what my friends always called us. Yeah, it's the best food over there. Probably still is.
It still is. I definitely I love going out there for the food for sure.
My favorite restaurants. I think One Colorado's is my favorite restaurant out there, but
you're in the Mecca of, come on, you're in California.
I know.
Like, you can't really, they may have good food up here, but it doesn't compare to down in California, especially Southern California.
True.
Like that's where all the Mexi food's at.
But yeah, actually what brought me out here is prior to that, I was coming back and forth from Portland to LA, like modeling. And then I was accepted into LA photography school. And then right after that, COVID hit and kind of threw some bumps into that. But I decided to stay out here just to see where the artwork would go and kind of stay out here just to continue to see how it went. But did a lot of work in Portland, but grew up in the Hillsboro, anywhere between Hillsboro and Lake Oswego.
I love it. Yeah, I'm born and raised in Oregon, and you are living my dream. I want to be down in California at some point, someday, and have that beautiful weather all over me, and being able to be to the beach and be in shorts all the time and tank tops. So.
You'd be surprised. I absolutely loved it at first, but I miss the rain sometimes. I guess I'm really picky. I don't know. I can't get it right.
It's, I guess, like from what I've heard from people is that they like to have the balance of the 4 different seasons, and Oregon, I guess, is perfect for that because you get your spring, your summer, your winter, and your falls and whatever. But you're in the perfect area for music and for art and for everything you're doing, modeling. So I think that's really cool that you're down there. And then you come back up to Portland and just do some side gigs modeling out here too.
Yeah. I'm going to be shooting with one of the first photographers that I worked with, Laren Murray. I'm sorry, I keep butchering people's names, but I'll be putting up some photos of this is what we did last time. I'll be showing what we're going to be doing this time, sort of thing. So I'll be shooting with him, I believe Luke Olson, and then Julian Wild. And then I think my niece might be shooting with me. She's going to be I'll be introducing herself to the industry gently, because she's my niece, so be gentle.
Do you do any? Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I don't have to worry too much about her. She's a veteran, but still, she's my niece.
Do you do any sculpting and that kind of stuff too, or are you sticking just mostly painting and drawing, or do you do kind of a little bit of everything?
I actually a couple of years ago, I'm going to try to get into it again. But there was some metal work that I was going to try to get into. I had briefly had a possible sponsor for it that gave me some pieces, but it's just these flat metal pieces that are like basically mirrors. So if I cut them, they can almost look like diamonds in a way, but mirror off each other. So kind of wanted to create like a 3D, like either northern lights or nebula stars or something like that. They glisten off each other through cuts of so something like that. But hopefully maybe sometime this year, a few pieces of work on, but maybe introduce that at some point.
That would be really cool. I'd love to see something like that. Like I always there's always something cool about destroying something and then creating something out of it. I always find that's always really cool to do.
Absolutely.
I remember messing around with paper mache in art class, and I thought that was always really cool to like sculpt things.
Yeah.
And like I said, I tried really hard and it just never really clicked for me. And I'm glad I found music. Just because I love to express myself through art. Is there certain themes or colors and that kind of stuff that you like to mostly stick with to like give yourself like a signature of what you do? Or are you kind of just like you like to have a variety of a palette of different colors and styles that you do?
Well, so just to kind of describe my work, it's kind of hard to describe if you don't see it because it's like, oh, I'm saying, big, colors and this and that. And someone had described it the other day if you take like Andy Warhol's like bright colors and the colors that are so blocky behind like to each other, that's kind of more like what I do. But then it has like the sheer material over it, which is like glass with the resin on it. And then color wise, I'm kind of open to all of it. I guess I do have my favorite color is green, but like all the greens. I guess emerald green is probably my favorite, but it's hard to pick one. I think that I don't know. Emerald green is just like very powerful, very it follows through. It's gentle, but that it's, hard at the same time. So I don't know. It explains a lot. So.
Yeah, we'll have to, when I start promoting this, what I'm going to do is I'll take some of the audio and I'll probably like have you send me some copies of the pictures of some of your paintings so that people can get kind of a visual of what you do. And then obviously we'll provide some links for people to see like where they can follow you and find you on here. I'm looking at one particular drawing here or painting that you did that it captures my eye. It's the one that has like the hand. It looks like their hands and arms together over their face. That's kind of what it looks like, at least from what I see from the angle of it.
It's a painting?
Yeah, it's a painting.
What color is it? Is it red?
No, it's like a peachy color, and you got some greens, a little bit of red, and let me see. It says here, outside of working on my clients' paintings, it's important that I continue creating my own as well. Inspiration was Alanis Morissette and Jagged Pill album.
Oh, okay.
And that one I find it very fascinating just because the colors that are on there, and it looks really cool. Like
I'm not sure which one that is, but yeah. But so that was probably a moment of when I was painting, in fact. It's probably when I was painting too, but yeah, it helps. Yeah, it helps the movement, the rhythm. I mean, if you're on stage and you hear the crowd around you, you can feel their energy come back at you. It's a feeling.
Yeah, and there's another one that's very powerful that I see. Like it catches your eye right away. It's that one that you're holding. It's like red, and it looks like it's someone like kind of with their hands down on the ground and their head down.
Yeah, that's from Embers. That's a woman that's like she's taken her fish and she's like rising, kind of like the phoenix is rising. That's called From Embers.
Love that. That looks so cool, and that red is legit. Like it's very eye catching.
Yeah, I love that piece. That one went to Oregon.
That one went to Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Wait, I think No, wait, that one went to Colorado, but yeah, there's been a couple that went to Oregon.
That is so cool. Do you do any do you teach people how to do any paintings, or people ever come up to you and ask you like, oh, I want to learn, or like I want to do some sort of apprenticeship or anything like that? Or
yeah, I'm always open to that too. I would like to maybe even set something up to actually help people and teach them, because I know people want to learn and be a part of it, and I want to help to be able to do that. And then as partnerships, I've had a couple of people ask to use my paintings, like to print, like to use as wallpaper and to use as like even screensavers, like stuff like that. So
I can see these on album covers, honestly. Like even musicians like easily could do something cool. Like so.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, start marketing to the bands, because right now with you're starting to see a lot of these AI things come out, and it's like it's so cheesy and it looks. You can definitely tell it's AI, but something like this could be custom made by you, and they're the one of a kind thing that they have on their album. And for an album, it's very important to have good artwork. Like, people want to see that.
Well, I have a client. I did this one that's a big alien, and he has that one, but he also sent me a Jackson Flying V to paint that I haven't done yet. So I might try to do that and see how it comes out, and then market to more musicians for their stage stuff too. So.
I love it. Do you model, like, so when you're doing modeling, are you modeling for clothes? Are you modeling for band picture, or not band pictures, but like promo for bands or promo for companies? Or what kind of modeling do you typically take on, like when you're doing it?
I think more lately it's more creative, but yes, I mean, I've worked with Gerber knives. I've worked with a couple of radio stations. I've been printed a couple times in Dark Beauty magazine. Did I think of Fred Meyer at some point?
That's so cool.
A couple of things. I think that my most favorite was, though, I had a piece that was auctioned off at the Portland Art Museum. That was like my second year. And so that was really important to me, because that made me, like, quietly, I was telling myself, wow, being in a museum, and then when I was little, I was in a museum, maybe this will lead to me painting and doing artwork. So it was kind of like a
foreshadow. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. That's inspiring, and that's, you make me want to go pick up a paintbrush and think that I can draw. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point.
Put it on your hands, even just have fun with it.
Yeah. Art is really fun, because there's no, like, when you don't have restraints or someone telling you need to do a certain thing a certain way, and you let your mind create. Like with music, at least I always relate it to music, because that's what I do 24/7 for the most part, like when I'm doing my own stuff. But like with art, it's so cool, like when you have that freedom to be able to just, you see something in your head and then you put it on paper. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, or where do you hope to see yourself 5 years from now with modeling and with painting?
As far as modeling, I think I'll probably always want to create at some in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. I have some pieces coming up again with my niece that are going to be really, really unique, almost like sharing, but almost not necessarily passing the torch. But I want her, you'll start seeing some similar stuff, but very creative. And then again, I want to be able to teach people, whether it's the questions about the modeling part, and not just on how to pose, but what to watch out for, how to be safe, how to ask questions, who you're talking to, have you worked with this person before? A lot of that's important and can get really lenient. And some people are okay with that, but there's things that you really need to watch out for, especially when things can be tempting. And then outside of that, just helping people learn how to paint, maybe even holding my own classes, and all ages from kindergarten up.
I can imagine. I was going to say, let's touch more on that. Like like what things would you recommend? And I'm just saying this because I had a former ex-girlfriend that used to do modeling, and she got offered this gig out in Washington. So we went out there, and it was in Tacoma, and it was in a really bad area of town. Like, it was like this weird, like almost like an outdoor type of market, but they had like their own like little side type of tents and whatnot. And I almost feel like it was like a setup, but because she showed up with me, they kind of were being weird and like, what the heck is he doing here? And then like the pictures didn't come out like to look like they were done professionally, really. Like, so it was really weird and off-putting, and that made her kind of not want to do it anymore, and she kind of shied away from that. So what kind of things would you say to look out for? Have you witnessed some of these things? How did you react to them? How did you counter them? And share a little bit of that. I think that part's important to share with people that may be getting into that modeling, and especially females that need to be careful out there.
Sure, yeah. I can actually say specifically in Portland, I was very, very careful, but I'm not going to name his name because he's no longer practicing. But there is one person I would no longer shoot with, but I'm not even going to say his name because he's not around, period, anymore. So there's no point in it. But outside of people I've worked with in Portland, I felt were very safe. I think it's important to ask questions. I think, first of all, to contact other models first and ask questions, especially if it's your first time working with somebody, see if they've worked with them before and what they felt, and ask those questions. Is it okay if I bring somebody with me? Is it okay if my partner comes? Most of the time, it'll be okay as long as the partner is not distracting from the shoot, because that can be distracting if, the person's just distracting. But most of the time, it should be okay to bring that person. On the other hand, I have been in LA before. I was invited to the Playboy Mansion. I was invited to a couple of mansions in Hollywood, and I left because I saw some things I decided not to pursue because I felt uncomfortable. There were rooms where you're invited to. There were things that were available too easily for someone that just wants to be a part of the club. So ask questions. If you're not sure, if you're even going through something right now, you can message me and ask questions. I can give you some links and some questions to ask too, but just be very careful. Be creative, be excited, but be very careful.
Love that. I think that can help a lot of people just to kind of be on the looking out, especially females. There's a lot of creeps out there, especially with this type of stuff. And I could imagine the Playboy Mansion would have all sorts of things, especially with all the things that leaked out afterwards. And
right.
You see the documentaries and all that type of stuff. And good for you for knowing that you have morals that you stand by and you stick by, and you weren't tempted to say, screw it, all right, whatever. Because sometimes it can be easy to sell out, so to speak, when you're tempted, when you have these goals and these dreams of something and it's put out right in front of you, but you have to do things that go against what you like your morals and whatnot. And unfortunately, a lot of people they will give in. And it takes a lot of strength to say, no, that's not for me. And if I get this or I get where I want to be, it's going to be on my terms and not me doing things that later I'm going to regret or that I go against.
I think that, and trust me, when I went in, it felt like Cloud9. I felt like I saw people you see on TV, you see the whole thing. It was incredible. It was an incredible experience. But ultimately, in my gut, I just felt like something wasn't right. And then also something told me, like, I don't want to stop here. If I stop here, then I won't truly pursue the other things that could keep me from, I don't know what it is, but I just don't know it's this.
Do you feel that once, because I'm sure you went there with someone that knew someone there or whatever, the way you got in, I'm sure that there was some sort of tie that had ties with the people that were there. Do you feel that when you decided to leave, that affected you in any way, in a negative way? Or did maybe they like look at you like, oh, that's really cool that she doesn't give in like the rest of the people with some of those temptations that are there? Because with entertainment, sometimes people can blackball you and they can like put you on like a block list that you're not allowed to work with or don't work with this person or whatnot. Because I know that happens with music. I can imagine that can happen with modeling and with acting and all that stuff. Do you feel like that might have happened at all to you when you were after that?
Well, yeah, I'll be real honest. I mean, it was really easy to get in. All you do is just send some modeling photos to their email, and they go through them and they choose them. They say yay or nay. So that's how I got in. I didn't have an actual connect at the time at all. So I don't know if that still works now, because I mean, they're not around, but the person that still kind of runs these gigs is still around. And no, it didn't affect me because, for one, it's not like I was super well known in LA. I was just working with a few people. I think I was starting to work with a few people. But the other thing too is I still get emails. I still get invites to these things. So whether I am accidentally still on their email or not, I don't think it did. And I also wasn't depending on it. I went from that to like shooting with some other people next week. I didn't put so much energy and focus to that. And even during that time, just because I walked away from it, they didn't stop inviting me. I just chose to fill my time with other things and other people.
I love that. And in today's world where everyone's a musician, everyone's an actor, everyone's a comedian, everyone's wanting to be a model on Instagram, like the competition is so, it's like there's so much competition for anything and everyone is grabbing for attention, and so many people are willing to do this or that maybe others aren't willing to do. What advice would you give to someone that's aspiring to get into modeling, like as far as tips for how to stand out and how to basically go for it, but stand out in a good way, not in a negative way, and not following all the trends and things that they see on TikTok and Instagram?
I would suggest going on Pinterest. But for me, if you know of a model that does inspire you, then look at some of her photos, not just from now, but from way back when. Get a couple of normal, regular photos, but challenge yourself, be edgy, do something in the water, cover yourself with paint, do something that's outside of your box. Because if you do that, and even practice at home by yourself when nobody's looking, because you might feel more comfortable doing that, do that, and something else might open up. Because if you only think one way, like if you're only worried about getting to that model or only getting to that famous or only getting to that point, you're completely missing the creativity part. And that's not going to get you to that. It's going to open more doors to yourself, which is going to make you think like, oh, that's what I did. I was like, oh, it makes more sense for me to do this instead of the Playboy. But it's a step by step. It's not like you're there. It's not like I know it already. It's a step by step, and it's like you just open one door at a time. But start with asking questions, finding models that inspire you, or even artists, musicians that inspire you. Dance to music that inspires you, and take pictures of that, and maybe you'll find yourself through that even.
I love that. And what you're talking about too is like what I'm hearing is growth, like grow and have an open mind. And that's just kind of what I'm getting at, that the message is like, be creative and try things that maybe that might seem wild and crazy. Just be unique, be one of a kind, and stand out in that form and fashion.
I've been made fun of so many times because of the weird ideas and the weird shoots I've done. I've lost friends over stuff like that, but you know what? They've come back because they didn't really realize what was going on. But I didn't lose the creativity, and that's the most beautiful part, because you can never feel that free when you're that creative. Nothing can because you'll always have that in your heart and your mind, always.
Definitely. And I've seen some of your shots, and I even remember from back in the day when you were in Portland, they were always so artistic and stood out, and definitely shows that you enjoyed what you were doing, and they were unique. So I'm excited to see what your shoots are that you do here in Portland. I'm sure you'll post them on Instagram, and I'll have to follow and take a look and see what you end up doing.
For sure.
Did you do any acting or anything like that? Any music videos or anything like that you were involved in? Because I know you were a part of the music scene here for a little bit when you lived in Portland.
I actually didn't end up doing videos. I would like to at some point, but I didn't really do anything notable. But I just recently, actually yesterday, read a script for a short. Recently, just for a director that recently is on, I guess, Amazon Prime. But I'll wait to share that until I have more information, but we'll see where that goes.
I love it. Have you done any acting in the past as far as like classes or anything like that? Or is this kind of just your another thing you're just passionate about that you're wanting to give it a shot?
I'm going to give it a shot. I might be terrible, but we'll just see. I might be terrible, but I guess we'll just see but at least I'll know. I'll know. So.
And you only get better, honestly. Yeah. Like I think it's, yeah, like it's one of those things where the more you do it and then you look back and you critique yourself, then you can learn what you like that you do and the things you don't like.
Absolutely.
I recently learned that I like doing, like when we're doing music videos, I don't like the playing part because it's like continuous doing the same thing. But like when we're acting certain parts out for like storylines, I love the acting piece and the fact that we can't there's not going to be any voice because it's part of the music video. We have to use our face and our hands and be expressive that way. I love that form because it really does challenge you. You can't rely on your swear words or whatever to like show a mad face or someone that's sad or in a tragedy or whatever. So
that's so cool because it really puts you in a different perspective of yourself. You kind of have to look at yourself. It's like, oh wait, you have to switch to this different like version of yourself or prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, kind of. Well, and I learned this from a couple of different musicians that I recorded with, that they're national bands and whatnot, when I was taking lessons from them and recording with them, is that you kind of have to, when you're acting or when you're doing music and recording, you have to put yourself in that headspace and like you're acting it out and you're putting yourself in that scene so that the emotion comes out of you.
Right.
Otherwise, people can see right through. And I can tell, like before when I would watch videos of myself, whenever I was like fake acting or whatever, I could always tell that I was like laughing and I felt goofy and I didn't feel comfortable because I was like, it felt forceful. But then once like I started thinking about like what I was getting for feedback, like put yourself in that situation and envision what you would really truly feel like and act that out, or let that come out in your the way you sing the song or the way you're expressing yourself in the video. It just somehow clicked in me, and it just made it easier. So now whenever we're doing videos and whatnot, it's easier for me to do that. So I'm excited to see what the reel ends up being and what you end up doing with that. Like I could totally see you doing some acting and whatnot. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm a little nervous about it, but we'll see. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna become the person in the moment, and we'll see what happens.
And for art, did you say you're gonna be collaborating with your niece?
A photo shoots with her in Portland.
Photo shoots.
So
okay.
We'll be doing, she's interested in it, and I want to encourage her. And I think the best way I can help her is, just to teach her the best way I can. And I know I feel safer with that anyways.
So is she going to be the one taking the pictures, or is she the one going to be like
she's going to be in it with me, and she's going to be doing some solo.
I love it. That's cool. Do you already have some locations that picked out that you're planning to hit up?
We do. Possibly Sobeys Island and a couple places downtown. Moody places, possibly somewhere around the Oregon Zoo. But yeah, we're looking for moody places, somewhere that's kind of close but not too far from the city. So if you have any suggestions.
Well, there was we shot a video out in, what do they call it? They call it like the Witches. It's a famous place, but it's like the Witches Castle or something like that. It's like this old castle looking thing that's on this trail over near like it's kind of like near the zoo. Between Beaverton and Portland. We shot a video there. I can send you the video so you can take a look, and then I can look and see what the actual address is. It's a brief little, a lot of people have shot there. They've shot music videos there. They've taken pictures. So it's a very common area for people to go and whatnot, but it is really cool looking. So that might be a good location to try it out. I'm trying to think where else might be in the Portland area. We used to go to this abandoned church in Wilsonville, and this was years ago. This is like 2010, but we used to get on this property that had this abandoned church that had all the spray painting all over the insides. They had like this underground pool with all these destroyed school desks and
great.
Just a huge building that was great for photo shoots. And we shot 2 different shoots there, and eventually I guess word got out that people were going there and doing drugs and all that crap and breaking more stuff that was already broken. And so the second time we went there to shoot, the security guard showed up and he thought that at first he's like, "What are you guys doing here?" And he's accusing us of if we were the people doing the bad stuff there. And we're we're a band. We're clearly in costume. We're just taking pictures and whatnot. But I almost forget where it's. I know it's in Wilsonville somewhere, but this place
is it in a? You said it's in a field.
It's in a church. It's in a. It's in this random in the outskirts of Wilsonville ish, and it's an abandoned church, and it's humongous. It's they have it almost looks like it used to be a school because they had lockers and they had an underground pool. They had,
oh my gosh,
it was a 2-story and broken glass and windows everywhere. It was just.
I've been there.
Yeah, have you?
Yep.
It's a legit spot. I was we went there a second time because I'm dude, I don't feel like we even touched ground for pictures there. It is creepy. It is very creepy. We would go in the daytime, and if we would have went there at nighttime to shoot a video, I'm imagining that we would have experienced some weird stuff.
When my brother was directing briefly, I don't know if he's still directing, but he was directing when he was younger. We did a couple of scenes, and we did it at dark. And then me and my brother were dumb enough. He dared me, but we were dumb enough to actually go walk around without anybody around us. And I felt stuff in there. It was creepy. I felt tingling on my neck and on my shoulders. And I was like, okay, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here now.
So you believe in ghosts and all that?
Well, yeah.
Any other ghost experiences or craziness like that you've experienced that you can share with the podcast?
Not that, but some other some weird dreams that were very realistic, but weird stuff. Something similar to that. But no, I've never actually seen anything, but felt stuff, for sure.
There's definitely some presence that you can feel at times, and even if you don't believe when you're in the right place, you will believe after that.
Absolutely.
I went to, I don't know if you've ever been to the original, I think they call it the original haunted house or whatever. It's in Las Vegas. It's over off Fremont, but it's the haunted, the original first haunted house of that area. They made it into a museum, but they have all these celebrities that have been there, and they have pictures of them that have visited. But you can ask Jamie about this. I went with Jamie and Mark, and after that, Jamie got really, really sick. Or no, she had I got sick. My face got pale white, and Jamie had this bruise that just appeared on her arm and whatnot later that evening, and it was a bad vibe. I feel like we brought bad energy back with us.
Yeah, you guys were being attacked.
Well, because of everything that was in there. So they had this person that owns that property, this haunted house. They have things that they've bought and supposedly from John Wayne Gacy. They had things like that, haunted dolls and whatnot. They tell you not to look in the eyes, and it's this huge house that they've turned into a haunted museum. And it's you have to sign a waiver. And I know sure, people say, yeah, it's just to get you start believing the hype and whatnot. So I was one of those people, and I was like, oh, I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I signed the waiver, and it just tells you warns you that there is bad energies there. And I felt that something definitely followed me for a long time after that. And luckily it's no longer a part of around here, thankfully, but Jamie's my witness because she experienced it too. She was there. And I don't know if Mark experienced anything while he was there, but it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I would never go visit that again. And I don't recommend anyone else goes and does it, just because that made me believe, for sure. It made me believe that there is energies out there, and when they latch onto you for whatever reason, they're going to follow you, and who knows how long they're going to hold on to you.
Yeah, actually, one last thing is that does remind me. Yeah, I do remember and that's when I remember. Yep. Yeah, actually, my stepmom at the time, she had like some Bibles or something in the house, and I don't remember exactly why, but she like threw them out in the trash, and by the time she got back in the house, they were on the table.
Oh my God. What kind of Bibles were these?
King James, just a couple different versions, nothing like I don't know. But by the time she came back in, they were on the table because I heard her scream, and then she said that's what happened. I was like, I didn't see it happen, but I believe her.
Yeah,
but she's kind of a devil, so she deserved it.
So, so did she? I mean, was there a reason why she had them and then threw them, or just had them there and there was like, oh, I don't want to eat these, like just threw them?
They were it was my dad's, and it was like this. One of them was an old Bible that belonged to my grandma. And I don't know if it has anything to do with it. My grandma's native, so I don't know if it had anything to do with that. But she like tossed it out just to be kind of mean because it was like an heirloom, and it was back in the house, and he still has it.
Man,
like,
yeah, something like that would scare me, and I would probably be like, if it got itself out, there's a reason why it did, and it's going to find its way back to you one way or another. Yeah, I do. I definitely believe in other energies and whatnot. That's why I don't even play the Ouija board. Like, I've had friends that offer to play that, and I'm like, I don't want to be around that because I don't want it latching on to me, and I don't need that kind of those bad vibes around.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I love horror films. I love scary films, but I will not touch a Ouija board, and I never have. I will not touch it.
I'm definitely fascinated by horror stuff and watching documentaries about the different serial killers, and just because I think a lot of it mostly is I like to know what these people, what's going on in their brains, what causes them, what drives them to do some of the crazy things that they do. Like, did you watch the documentaries that they put out, like with the Dahmer one and
all of them? Yep.
You watched all of them. Yep. That Dahmer one was really good, but it's like, it's so crazy just to think that this guy was able to get away with doing all that, and then for so long, and no one would listen to the neighbors and all that. And we played a festival in 2024 in Milwaukee, and the festival venue was literally right across the street from the hotel that Jeffrey Dahmer was taking a lot of the guys he was picking up from the bars and taking them there to this hotel or whatever. And I think it was not the hotel. I think it was the house. It was either the house or the hotel that the apartment complex was that he lived in that got demolished. There was a lot going on that day, so I just was like, oh crap. And I remember taking a picture, and they're like, yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer was very well known around here. Like, everyone talks about that. And anytime I go to Washington, I feel like I always hear people talk about Ted Bundy up there. Mm-hmm. Like, when I go play venues and whatnot, they're like, I don't know if they're just people just telling tall tales or whatnot, but they're always like, yeah, Ted Bundy used to come here. He would frequently come to this bar and this and that. I'm like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, he was in Oregon and Seattle.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to see those type of things. You know, nowadays, I don't know if a serial killer could get away with it nowadays, because there's cameras everywhere and social media, phones tracking everything and all that kind of stuff. One of the things I always bring up in conversation that I've been doing in these podcasts is asking how people feel about AI. And there's no right or wrong answer, but how do you personally feel about AI with regards to art and regards to music and video and all these cool, like, crazy things that AI is able to do? I know it's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, especially artists, but how do you feel about it?
Well, let's see. At first, I was like, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But I think it does have its place. And, like, for example, at work, AI is it's great for me at my other job. However, for art, like, AI is like managing my business. That helps, is what I'm saying. Creating like websites and such. And there's are some AI pieces that I find inspiration from, just because, like, you can see the stars moving and stuff like that. And I do think there's a place for it, but I think I'll be very, very, very disappointed and sad if true artists that actually paint is completely gone, because it's not just about the paint, it's about the action. It's a therapy, it's a meditation, it's a healing process. And I think it helps with your mental health, your spiritual, your physical, everything. And if we throw everything into a computer, we're going to lack all of that. And we're going to get back to being angry all the time and not being able to release that freedom, that feel of freedom, I guess. But ultimately, if it goes all the way, I'd be really sad, because I think it affects a lot of things. It's not just about painting.
I 100% agree with you on that. I think you said it best when you said it's almost like when you're painting or you're drawing or you're creating something, it's the journey of you doing that, like the process. I know a lot of people, especially nowadays, they want instant gratification of, I want this, I want to see what this looks like, draw it for me. And so AI can do that. But when you're creating something from scratch, you're painting something, you're drawing something, you're outlining something, whatever, there's a process that goes into that. And you might be listening to music, you might be having you're thinking about something in your head while you're drawing that. And it might be this day, something's going on in your life, and the way you vent is you're outlining this or painting this portion or piece of the drawing that you're doing, or the art that you're doing, or the song that you're writing. There's a story and a journey to tell with everything that you create. And if that part isn't included in that, then, and it's just instant gratification, and someone's able to just say, hey, I want this tree to be out in the woods with some crazy animals fighting and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And AI creates it like that. Like, there's no real story to tell of that at all whatsoever. And that takes away from the journey. And I do believe that there is a place, like you said, like, it's great for, if I write something out, I like to check it with AI and say, clean this up, make it more polished, sound professional.
Exactly.
Wordsmith it a little bit better. Even with music, I'll be honest, I've been saying this a lot, where I like to create music. And then what I will do, there's this program called Suno that it's very popular, very well-known AI format of making music. Could you click a button on this program and it creates a song for you? Yes, but it's a lot more complex than that. Basically, what I do is I will write the drums, I'll write the guitar, write my melodies and hooks and whatnot, and then I'll run it through the software, and I can tell it exactly what I want it to do. So if I want to add like keyboards onto it, or I want to add some sort of instrument that I don't have access to, or whatever, or I just want some production done to it, what'll happen is I can run it through there, and it'll ask me how much of a percentage I'm allowing the AI to contribute to that piece of work. So I usually keep my original 96%, and I allow it to have a 4% little influence on it. And a lot of the times it comes out almost exactly like I put it together, except for a little bit more polished, and it gives me some ideas of where I can go with it. Then at that point, I'm like, okay, now that I have an idea of where I'm going to go with this, I can go re-record those parts myself and make adjustments from there, and then I have a song. Now, so it's good for that, and that I consider it a tool. I'm not relying on it 100%. Now, I know there's people out there that will just click a button, tell it, I want you to create a song that's a mix between hip hop and country and maybe a little bit of rock and roll. And then it'll put a song together for them, including the lyrics and the vocals and everything. And that, I don't think that's fair. And that could be the death of musicians and artists, like original artists and whatnot. And that's scary to think about, because I feel as with AI, as people are getting more and more accustomed to it, the younger generation, they're not going to care if someone actually put the time and effort into a drawing or into a song. If it sounds good, if it looks good to them, they're going to accept it for what it is. Now, our generation that is used to having to work for something, create something, and the journey of it and the passion for it and all that, we'll still be like, well, yeah, that's great. The AI was able to do that, but it's not original piece of work that someone did. One thing that I constantly think about is that maybe this is exactly what we need to bring value back to original work for us older folks that appreciate that stuff, because it seems like, especially with music, it's taken for granted because there's just so much music out there, and with streaming services and all that, people are able to just skip through a song. Back in the day, you'd buy a tape or a CD. You had to be 100% committed to that, because those were like $20. And you couldn't just go listen to your favorite. I mean, you could go listen to your favorite song, but you're going to pay for the full CD, and you're going to be stuck with that because you paid $20 for it. And now people can just hear their favorite part in a song, which is something they might have heard on TikTok, like the first 15 seconds of a song or the hook. And they're like, oh, I'm going to change the song because my favorite part. You know what I mean? Like that's that's a generation that we have right now with that. So this AI could be a way to bring back value to original artwork, because right now I feel like original artwork, there's no value to, like, for example, music. People just take it for granted. They're like, well, I have unlimited access to all the songs that I want on my Spotify because it's there and available. It's a click away from me searching an artist and I can go through their whole catalog.
Right.
So maybe AI could save music in that aspect for us older folks, but I think as the younger generations get more accustomed to AI, they may not care. Maybe they will. Who knows? It's just one way to look at it. But I love talking about AI to people just because I know it's a very hot topic, and some people get really sensitive to it, and other people are so against it. I'm like, you know what? It's technology, and technology is not going to wait for you to be comfortable with it. It's not going to stop progressing just because you are against it. It's going to be one of those things that just keeps evolving, and it's going to be a part of everyday life in the future. And you can stomp around and be pissed, and it's not going to change anything. If anything, you're going to put yourself at a disadvantage if you're not using it and other people are.
Yeah. And again, I think it's still, and it's also a part of it, it is becoming more a part of society now. And yeah, that is a good point. It could be a benefit to it too, but I mean, it could be a benefit to us too. And then in a few years, it's going to be way past us. So the transition of us getting to know this as well as us doing the original artwork is kind of going to be where our space is going to be for the next ever. That's where I see it.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing is that the younger folks may not even know how to create something, because you see that nowadays, like where they don't know how to do certain things because they've been so reliant on technology and that kind of stuff. So they may not know how to go into a recording software program and be able to play the guitar and record it and all that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting to see where it leads to. I mean, I'm looking at it from a positive lens and just accepting the fact that it is what it is. And I can bitch about it and be negative about it, or I can just move with it and just adapt. And normally if I'm really against something, I will bitch and I'll complain and I will hold my ground. But with something like this, I don't think it's not going to be possible for anyone to just avoid it. It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be parts of it that we're both going to appreciate, and it'll be beneficial. It's just this learning curve too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when I start seeing when I start hearing music that's created, which I mean, you can kind of hear versions, like cheap versions of it on YouTube right now. But when I start hearing songs from artists that are no longer living and they're making new music, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what that is like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I go on YouTube sometimes and I'll plug in something like, you can pull up like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park's voice over like Nirvana or something like that. And it sounds realistic. Like it really does sound like Chester was there recording Smells Like Teen Spirit. It's wild. And the technology is only going to get better and more realistic, and we won't be able to tell the difference, which is kind of scary. I'm already seeing that like on Facebook. I don't know if you see on Facebook, all these videos are popping up in pictures that are just all AI.
Yeah, I actually have to look real close at some of those. I'm like, okay, that is or is not.
Yeah, people are saying that if you zoom in, there's like certain like grainy stuff that you can look for that kind of gives it away. But I mean, I think this is just that's probably all the stuff that's like most accessible to most people. But I'm sure there's even higher tech stuff that costs a lot of money to use that bigger artists and musicians and labels and companies are using.
Yeah, there's always stuff that's not released to the public until it's tried out a few times. So yeah, I'm sure that in no time. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we're getting close to an hour here, Stephanie. Is there anything else you want to talk about, bring up, anything that you want to share to give our audience, listeners here, some words of inspiration? Or
well, I don't know. I think that last year seemed like 3 or 4 years all shoved into one, but I just hope that everybody stays inspired and asks questions. And again, don't be afraid just to try. So you don't have to have all the answers, just try it, because the answers, they really do come to you. I'm really grateful for Cody, Liquid Shape here, for having me on. And I'm really excited to come back to Portland and visit a few people and update the portfolio and introduce my niece.
Hell yeah, I'm excited for you. And thank you so much for being here and sharing everything you did with us. I was excited about this interview because I knew that it was going to be fun and informative. And you are officially the first female guest on this podcast. I've had nothing but dudes and nothing but musicians or some way, form, or shape or fashion musician. So first
Ooh,
model, first lady. I love it.
thank you. I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Thank
get
you
a
so
badge for
much.
that, right? I get a
Yeah.
badge.
I'll send one of those like sheriff badges.
Nice. I love it.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
And that is the end of speaking with my guest, Stephanie Tice. Please go follow her and support everything that she does. She does some awesome work. Very thankful to have her on and be able to catch up. It's been a number of years since I last had interacted with her. So it's great to see that she's doing awesome things. Continue to support the podcast, my friends. Please continue to share it. My guests have all been really awesome, and I'm very thankful for all of them that have came on here. We've been pushing and promoting. I like helping other people, regardless of what their background is, whether that be music, whether that be art, whether that be modeling, whatever your business is. I love that this podcast is able to support people that are doing great things and that are motivated. And also that these stories can help others in dealing with the barricades that life throws at us and the curveballs and all that. So continue to support the podcast, Liquid Shape. And please spread the word. Subscribe. If you got money to throw at this podcast, it goes towards funding and the software that I need to use for this and all that great stuff. If you can't, that's fine. This podcast is free so that you can listen to it and hopefully help people. And we will see you on next week's episode. Thank you very much and have a great kick-ass rest of your day and week.
Be sure to find us on all social media platforms, follow and subscribe.